Hello and welcome to the 2-minute series. The topic for today is about the stages of inflation. Now here you should know that inflation is not a singular event until and unless an emergency like situation is what happens that causes a sudden spike in inflation. For example, war could lead to a sudden spike in inflation. A particular disaster is what can lead to a sudden spike in inflation. A major economic failure could lead to a particular sudden spike in inflation. Until such kind of emergency situations happen, inflation is largely a gradual process, and as a result of which it is something that passes through many stages. So these stages is what is important for us. The first stage of inflation is the creeping inflation. Now at this point of time, inflation is in the range of 0 to 3%. You should know that even Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had acknowledged, who is a renowned economist, he had acknowledged that 3% inflation, up till 3% of inflation is rather healthy for the economy, because it is a sign that demand is greater than supply, which shows that there is growth in the economy. So all inflation is not bad. 3% is the borderline. It is the safe zone for inflation, and this is what is known as creeping inflation. The next stage is that of walking inflation. Now in walking inflation, inflation increases from 3 to 7%. Now this is one of the most vulnerable stages. Largely India's inflation stays within the limit of walking inflation. This is vulnerable because this stage is something that is a rapid one. The rise in inflation beyond this stage is going to be a sudden rise, and that is why actions are what are required at this particular stage. And you should know that even the RBI, the Monetary Policy Committee of the RBI, has a limit of 6% of inflation. So that is within the limit of walking inflation. Next stage of inflation is the running inflation, which is 10 to 20%. This is extremely bad for the economy. And hyperinflation, which is 20%, this can be catastrophic for the economy. So these are the 4 stages of inflation. A question in this regard can come in the prelims. And even if not in the prelims, you should use these technical terms in your answers in mains also. It gives a better impression. So that is the importance. That's all for today's video. I thank you all for watching.